Hey there, this is the One Boom, and the Battlefield 2042 beta is finally here, and I know a lot of you don't like my Battlefield opinions, because I happen to enjoy a little hanky-panky on the side. But if we could put our differences aside for a minute and just hear me out, that would be awesome. These are initial opinions that they're bound to change later down the line. Instead of yelling in the comment section about how good Battlefield's gonna be, or bad COD is gonna be, or your opinions on Halo or anything like that, who did you want for the last Smash character? Let's have the comment section be completely irrelevant to the topic and scare YouTube. Roll stupid opinions. Go. Okay, loading into Battlefield 2042 was awesome. Here's some footage of my first time loading in. Okay, bad example. Here's the second time I loaded in, and this time it kind of blew me away. The detail, the graphics, the colors, the lighting, everything just looked and felt awesome. I was really excited with what I saw. I wanted the game to feel big, beautiful, detailed, and breathtaking, and I kind of got my wish. I mean, Orbital here just looks and plays really well in my opinion. I like this map. It's unique in its layout, and I really like its gimmick. This rocket taking off, or this rocket exploding, is a sight to behold. While I can't pretend this whole game blew me away as much as Battlefield 4 did or Battlefield 3 did back in the day, it's still great to see Battlefield back where I like it, being just big and imaginative and not as limited by its time period. Battlefield 1 and 5 are pretty games, don't get me wrong, but they don't feel big. This game feels big. The architecture on this map perfectly sells just how large scale Battlefield 2042 is aiming to feel, and I love that. Now, some people don't like how large the map is, and some people are complaining that it's taking too long to find people, but I don't mind that. You see, I play Call of Duty and Halo for those experiences. I don't mind when Battlefield feels like a walking simulator sometimes, I just don't. Now, this might become an issue later, of course, this is an initial opinions video, but I don't mind the combat pacing, I don't mind dead air, I don't mind when I'm away from the combat for a minute. One of the things I don't like about Battlefield 1 and 5 is how narrow and limiting they felt. It didn't really feel like you could go off and venture somewhere irrelevant for the sake of it, and I like that feeling in Battlefield. Honestly, when I play Battlefield 5, it feels sort of like there's lanes, and I can go down left lane, or right lane, or mid lane, but it doesn't really feel like a big, open battlefield. This, in my opinion, absolutely does. You do trade combat pacing and balance when you make maps big and creative, but I always liked Battlefield as being sort of a giant sandbox, and part of being a giant sandbox means you might have to prioritize variety over balance, and I absolutely don't mind that, because I'm gonna be playing Halo and Call of Duty also this year, so give me an experience like this, and I'm gonna eat it up. More on this topic for just a second. People also complain that in Insurgency Sandstorm, you just get taken out too quickly from angles you couldn't see, and that makes the game bad. But that's that game's experience. It's unforgiving, realistic, tactical, milsim-esque combat, so I absolutely don't mind getting one-tapped by an FAL in Insurgency from a little tiny window I didn't see, because that's the experience of that game. Playing more methodically, playing to survive, being unforgiving because the game is unforgiving. I like that about it. It's what makes Insurgency, Insurgency. And when Battlefield feels sort of big, aimless, and just like a really cool sandbox, yeah, that's why I play Battlefield. So complain if you want, there's some things to complain about, but that's why I play Battlefield, so I'm okay with it. But now we have to get into technical performance. This game is completely unpolished at every angle. While I did have fun playing the game, and it's super satisfying, very sandboxy, it reminds me of what I loved about Battlefield 3 and 4. That's great, haven't felt this way in a long time, guys, it's awesome. I can't ignore how unpolished this game is. I know that it's a beta, you don't have to tell me that. And I know that it's an older build. I think every beta is in some way an older build. That's usually how that works. But the leaked alpha footage we saw a while back wasn't polished or good looking in my opinion either. This game launches in a month, and if we're just reviewing an old build of the game, does that mean that all of our testing is going to be irrelevant? Or did these bugs also persist in the main game? Why are we playing this version of the game? I have no idea. What version is it? How exactly old is it? Don't know. Nobody really knows. All I know for sure is that EA and DICE deemed this build of the game ready for public consumption and review. So I can only review what is in front of me. I do not know, and you do not know, what problems will persist into the launch and further on, or what issues will be fixed by the time the beta is over. So let's not use our imaginations, let's talk about the beta as we see it. Look, I saw a lot of Battlefield fans poking fun at how Call of Duty Vanguard looks, performs, feels, just is as a game. And if I can't use it's just a beta as a defense for Call of Duty, then you can't use it for Battlefield. I'm gonna look at it as they show it to me. I'm not going to look into the future and say, oh, good, all those issues are fixed already. Never mind, guys, criticism obliterated. No, we get to review Halo Infinite and Call of Duty with the versions of the games that the companies put out for us to play. We're basically testing their games for free. In fact, some of us are paying to test their games. So I think we owe them our opinion. Call of Duty Vanguard's beta issues and Halo Infinite's tech test issues are their issues. They are not irrelevant non-issues because they happen to be betas. Do not disregard criticism of a game, especially about a game's design philosophy, during its beta. So with Battlefield here, I don't really mind weird spawns or awkward glitching or getting stuck in things. I got stuck between the hill and these pipes here, couldn't get out, had to blow myself up. I could have just hit redeploy, but it's more dramatic and fun this way. Either way, I don't obviously like stuff like this, but I feel like most of this can get fixed before launch. I say most because EA and DICE, I'm sorry, they don't have an amazing track record of releasing games. But yeah, the performance on my Xbox Series X was abysmal. Yeah, it looks great, but it doesn't feel great. This is not hitting a consistent, smooth 60 FPS. It's poorly frame-paced, obviously. It has massive frame dips, obviously. If you have eyes, you'll notice it. I saw some people in my chat today when I was live streaming. By the way, hit the bell icon to get notified when I go live. When I was live streaming, I was being told that, oh, my One X runs the game perfectly fine, or my PS4 Pro runs the game perfectly fine, and I kind of call bullshit, because the game would just drop frames for me. I wouldn't be looking at any explosions or anything, and the game would just chug frames. And I've tried everything, guys. I tried pissing in my Xbox to cool it off to get higher frame rates, but that didn't even work. Oh, now it just smells bad. Look, I know it's a beta, but it's worth pointing out that this game feels so poorly optimized, and I've heard so many nightmare stories from high-end PCs and last-gen Xbox and PS4 users that the game's just not in a good state, and I'm mostly scared about this, because then the next thing makes this issue even worse. Frame rate drops are one thing, bad controls are another. And I was really surprised about this. If you guys watched my last video about what I was expecting from the Battlefield 2042 beta, you guys probably heard me say that I didn't expect controlling my character to be an issue because Battlefield has just felt better on controller more and more over the years. So I was expecting it to just have Battlefield 1 or Battlefield 5's controls and just call it a day, but instead, it feels like garbage. Aiming and shooting, sensitivity, dead zones, potentially the aim assist, this is sounding like my Halo Infinite complaint. It just doesn't feel right. It feels like a bad PC port. Trying to get precision shots on target works sometimes and not others, like the aim assist is maybe server side. There are no aim assist settings, so I don't even know if there is aim assist or how it's working if it's there. I don't know if it's snap-on, rotation, slowdown, a mix of all of them. No idea. Couldn't really get it working or testing it was hard. This is going to be a cross-play console shooter in the year of our Lord 2021. It needs to feel fucking good on controller, and I really hope it does at launch. The last thing I was expecting when loading up the beta was to have issues with the controls, but oh my god, I feel like I need a degree to figure out what these fucking options do. Like, what the hell is the vertical ratio bullshit? I cannot figure out what it's changing because all it does is make my controller either feel like shit or feel moderately less like shit. There are descriptions that don't line up with what the sliders do, and then there's also like an FOV slider that starts at like 2 or 9 or something. You can go like from 9 to 100. I don't get that at all. Please just bring Battlefield 1 or 5's control settings into this game so that feels better. But if it's not the frame rate or the controls, what else can fuck up your gunfights and make the game less fun? The netcode. Yeah, this game be laggy as shit, yo. Honestly, there was so many issues I had with bullets not registering, watching helicopters glitch through the sky, watching people clip through territory and terrain, which I don't know if that's just a third-person animation problem, or I hope it's lag. Essentially, when I watch somebody clip into things or sort of stutter around, I hope it's lag and not an actual problem with the Frostbite engine. Hard to say, though. Frostbite engines always had problems with like colliders and mantling things and going over walls. So hopefully this is a non-issue that gets fixed, but Oh my god, I know it's a beta, and hopefully all these netcode issues can be fixed during the beta. That'd be a big win if all of these get fixed, but currently, doesn't feel very good. The game overall just has a complete lack of polish. Third-person animations look jank and unfinished. Third-person character models look jank and unfinished. Just everything looks a little jank and unfinished. And like some of my subscribers were pointing out on my live stream, hit the bell icon, the guns don't kick. They don't really have any visual feedback when you fire them. They feel like airsoft guns, like paintball guns. The audio is pretty good, if not a little quiet, but overall, I just wonder how many of these issues can be fixed by launch, because it's a general lack of polish across all dimensions. Like, the tank controls feel really, really worse than Battlefield 4. And the helicopter, I've never been a good pilot, but the helicopter feels so stiff and unresponsive. Trying to use this recoilless rifle to knock a helicopter out of the air, it just never happened because I couldn't get it to work. It just felt awkward to aim and shoot it, and it sucks because, you know, it's not my first rodeo. Obviously, it's a beta, and a lot of these performance issues and little bugs and graphical glitches that flash up on the screen can be fixed. So I'm not terribly concerned, but, you know, I'm concerned enough to talk about it for 5 minutes in the video here, so let's move on to the thing that actually pisses me off. This game nails the feeling of being a Battlefield game, except in one very crucial dimension, and that is class commitment and class responsibility. Replacing primary gadgets with specialists and replacing classes with loadouts that can be altered and tweaked is dumb. I'd love to give this the benefit of the doubt, guys, but this is exactly what I was scared of when I heard about this system. Combine an assault rifle with a rocket launcher, a sniper with a med kit, a repair torch with an LMG, it doesn't matter. You're just building a little Call of Duty loadout and you pick your specialist for your main ability. You can't really fill a role anymore. In Battlefield 4, you had universal weapons, class-specific weapons, a couple universal gadgets, mostly class-specific gadgets, so if you wanted to be a full-on anti-air engineer, anti-tank engineer, a mix of both, a more versatile repair and destroy engineer, you could. It was how you wanted to play that role. Want a PDW, carbine, DMR, or shotgun? You can run them. But no, you can't have an AEK and an RPG. No, you can't have the Type 88 and a T-Mines. No. You might think it's limiting, but in fact, I think it was the opposite. It encouraged creativity amongst the squad, instead of just everyone running whatever weapon is the best in that category, DMR, AR, SMG, take your pick. It's picking the weapon that's right for your class and how you want to play that class. An aggressive support user is going to use different LMGs compared to a more sit-back suppressive fire support user. Old Battlefield was about filling out a role. That role-based, class-based gameplay was what I loved about squad play in Battlefield, and not having it here sucks donkey nuts. Why aren't people more mad about this? Am I crazy? I pointed out in my Why I'm Not Hyped for Battlefield video that got completely dislike bombed that DICE and EA, while I do appreciate their creativity at times, they keep messing with the formula and foundation of the series every time. So you never know what the map design is going to be like, or the gunplay is going to be like, or the class play. And for this game to just replace it with specialists sucks. Like, yeah, everyone's just gonna run around with grappling hooks and whatever gun is most overpowered at the moment. One of the big issues with Call of Duty and games like Titanfall, for instance, is that people will just spawn in with whatever weapon is the best. This reminds me of Halo 4. Halo 4 added a loadout system because a lot of people were tired of the on-site procurement that Halo is known for. Spawning in and having to go find a weapon? Hell no, especially not in a Halo game with permanent sprint. You get to spawn in with a DMR, a BR, a light rifle. Go to town, have fun. Instead of everyone starting with the same weapons in Halo 4, you start with whatever the fuck you want and then you go out and get whatever the hell you want, and I think that's stupid. If you want to spawn in with plasma grenades and a battle rifle and the ability to pull up a hard light shield, then go for it. That's not gonna hurt balance at all. 343 learned their lesson that removing that element of weapon play, which is the going and getting the weapon part and going and getting the equipment part, they realized that was a bad idea. And now with Halo Infinite, everyone has fair start. You have to go out and grab grappling hooks and repulsors and grenades and stuff. You can't just spawn in with them because you selected it in a menu. Battlefield got really freeing in games like Battlefield 4, allowing you to have carbines on every class, DMRs on every class, shotguns on every class, but still requiring you, if you want to use certain weapons and you want to use certain things, you want to take part in certain playstyles, you have to fill that role for your team and, more importantly, for your squad. If your squad keeps getting taken out by helicopters or tanks and you're the engineer, guess whose fault that is? Now, if your squad's getting harassed by a chopper or two, just have everyone in your squad spawn in with a rocket launcher. They literally won't be able to survive. But you can't really fill a role. Like I'm saying, there is no support role, there's no engineer role. You have a rocket launcher and a grappling hook, or a defibrillator gun, or you have a turret you can place down, but other than that, you only have one piece of equipment. So you can't have a repair torch and a launcher. Okay, you can't have an ammo box and C4. So you're limited actually more so than you would be if you just picked the fucking support class in Battlefield 4. I'm gonna do an entire video on this because I don't want this video to be 20 minutes long, but oh my god, this sucks. In Battlefield 4, I can load in as a support guy with either a DMR, LMG, carbine, or shotgun. I then can have different types of ammo dispersing tools, I can use mortars, I can use C4, I can use a riot shield. Fuck, it's actually more freeing than this, and puts me in a role to support my team. Like playing as the recon put you in the role to provide, you guessed it. I think Battlefield 2042 is incredibly fun and also incredibly buggy. I want to see this game with tighter controls, better performance, less lag. Oh my god, like every game ever. That's really my main take here. But when it comes to the actual design of the game, the design philosophy and choices behind the game, not technical problems, but actual design choices, the lack of class system, in my opinion, is going to hurt the game. So my next videos are going to be about griefing in Red Dead Online, a Far Cry 6 review, and we're going to be talking about why class play is so important to the Battlefield formula. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching. Hope you're enjoying the beta. If I got anything wrong in this video, please let me know. I love being corrected. And goodbye. Now this just smells bad too.